into the film. Hey guys, as I promised, we are setting up a little bit early. It's 5:57. We are trying to get this all settled or whatever. He's going to sit down here next to me. Today we are getting to know Kezra Leon. Scooch in so everybody can see you. So we're doing good. Yeah, act like we're close or whatever so we can see this. So we are here with Kezra Leon. Scooch in, I want them to see you more than they see me. So we are here with Kezra Leon. And as I promised, it is January 1st. It's about 6 o'clock. He is going to show you that bitch he is nailed and mugged right now. And I promised that we would have this new segment where I go live with some of our local people and we get to know them a little bit better. So as I said, his name is Kezra Leon. Go ahead and say hello to everybody.
What's up, the Americas? My name is Kezra Leon, for those who are not inclined. I am a nightlife personality, a rapper, entertainer, extraordinaire.
Now, I do have a present for you. It might not be your favorite version of it, but over there to your left, I have brought you some fruit punch for our interview today. You have your own bottle, so we're going to drink fruit punch together. Cause,
are we sponsored?
No, we're not yet, but hopefully, brisk girl. We'll take any fruit punch, though. We don't care. I know a little bit about you already, so that's no big deal. I wasn't able to forward you over the questions first because I forgot all about it, and we've been running around trying to find this tripod. So, again, he's Kezra Leon, a.k.a. Young Mufasa girl, a.k.a. the breaker of backs, the destroyer of donks girl. That's him. I do have some extra help because I'm going to try to do another video, and we're going to be on YouTube because I do have a YouTube channel. And then I have my daughter and Frida Bone over here. She's keeping an eye on the lives just in case we skip a couple of questions. Go ahead. Yeah, she's got her Moe's and she's getting ready. Now, go ahead and share the video, invite people to watch it or whatever. We are going to get to know some of these local girls, and Kezra was the first one to volunteer. He was free today. I was free today. And we are being recorded in front of a live studio audience, which consists of Brandon, Tally, Frida, and the baby Luna. Behind me, you can see our bone wall.
Under construction.
Under construction. We are filling it out for the new year. We do have our bone wall going up. So let's go ahead and jump into some questions real quick.
Yes, awesome.
I am looking at the look today. What inspired you for this look today?
Well, I really wanted to go to grocery store chic. Something simple, something quick, easy, grab and go. Something easy for the road.
Grab and go.
Of course. Something very easy for the girls to recreate.
Yes, not attention grabbing. Just we need to go out shopping.
I'm very simple, very humble, very laid back.
Okay. So I do have a list of questions. I don't know if we're going to be able to get through all of them, but we've already covered your stage name and things like that. So how did you come by your stage name? I know that is your real legal name, but go ahead and tell them.
Well, so my last name is not Leon, and we've totally axed my last name from all social record because I want to fully envelop Kezra Leon. Funny story, I was actually in Miami doing things I shouldn't have been doing when I was 18. And there was this road that we kept driving on, it's called Ponce de Leon, and I was just like, oh, I love that, de Leon. And, I have this
a little bit because I want them to be able to see you. So
I had this very unhealthy session of lions, and it just kind of came to me. I didn't want a typical name. I wanted a name that I feel like can be said across the world because when I get famous or more famous, it will be.
Oh, I mean, we know that the lion is your symbol. We've seen it at your shows and things like that. So, well, he just went on there and was extra girl.
That's not confirmed. He has no proof.
No proof. We need legal documents. We need receipts. Okay, so now. Drag families, drag friends, what do you, go ahead and tell us about that. How did you come into that, who your family is, things like that?
Well, as of right now, I am by myself. I do not have a drag family. But, I was a part of, obviously my own family.
Still are.
For a minute. Distant cousins. And, I came across, it was funny because I didn't...
First cousins, don't be trying to fuck.
No, it's not too funny, but, I didn't come looking for a drag.
Yeah, you didn't have a drag family.
Yeah, when I won Queen of the Night, I won Queen of the Night hip hop. It was just
Kezra Leon.
Kezra Leon. I wanted to just perform. I honestly had no idea the drag world. I had no idea how Queen of the Night worked. I had no idea what was going to happen after. I just wanted to perform after a long hiatus of not doing anything, and after that I met you guys, The Bone, and I kind of started just aligning myself and learning some tricks and trades of makeup because I wanted to Frida, Sasha, you know, I wanted to fully personify Kezra Leon as the best he could be, and I think that's where we are today with, you know, look, makeup, and all that.
It's come a long way.
Thank you. It's an amalgamation of a lot of different YouTubing people in person.
Trying to get it through. All right, in the community, in your general circle, who are you close with? Like, is there any, like, people that you're close with, drag-wise or whatever?
I'm working on, actually, you know, in the 2019 year, I'm actually working on trying to be more friendly. Not to say I'm not friendly, I just have really strong social anxiety. A lot of people that don't know that, and it's like, so it's hard for me to connect to people. So as of right now, I would say the closest person I have is La Diamond Hayes, and because we rekindled or we rebonded over time, and we are much close. And of course, like Adriana Sparkle, I'm close with her. She helped and she designed my album artwork for Dolce & Gabbage and the single artwork for Hate. So, you know, some girls I'm close to.
Right. How does your biological family, your parents, how do they react to it? How are they with you being a performer, what you do, and stuff like that?
Well, you know, believe it or not, I've always been a mess. I've always been a dramatic child. And so, like, even when I was, like, 5 years old, I wanted to be that kid at the birthday party. Like, look at me, I'm going to sing for you. I'm going to give you a show. And so they always knew that I was going to be extra. I did theater all throughout middle, high school. And then I got into the gay community, and I started just, like, pushing it further. And, I mean, it was like a natural progression for them. It wasn't out of the blue. They knew this is what I wanted to do. They knew I wanted to do music. And they knew that I'm always serious about things that I say, and so this is where I'm at now. So they actually accepted. They love that I do. They try to come see my shows. I don't invite them to the club scenes though, because I will smack somebody that disrespect my parents, and I just don't like to get involved in unnecessary fights.
My mom fights already, so when she comes to the club, I'm more worried about her getting kicked out than somebody trying her. Now it looks like Kyle asked something, and I think he asked, "Why is he trash?"
Why is he trash? I didn't say he was trash.
No, he said, well, I'm trash. I'll get to the question.
Oh, okay. I can't really, it's a little further away, so it went up a little bit. Go ahead and share the video and make sure that you're sharing it on your page and things like that so people can see it. So if you had to pick a home bar or a home place, what would that be?
It's really sad because I was obsessed with Liquid, and we don't have that in our community anymore. However, because I want to also make it very clear that even though I started off in like the gay space and like a drag space, I am not just a drag performer. I'm not just that in that space. I'm trying to be just an overall musician now, and that's why I kind of refrained from performing and just like, you know, drag talent nights and things like that. I've been trying to.
Unfortunately, right now that's what's available.
Yeah, of course.
But I know you did have a couple of shows that just passed. I did do a live video of a rant of something a couple of months ago. At the first one, I told everybody about your tickets, and then we had one that just passed, right? Where was that one?
Yeah, I did this show it was called Pollyanna. It's a new publishing company that started out with some people that I went to high school with over in St. Petersburg, so shout out to them. And they told me about this show when I was at my engineer's studio, and they asked me to come, you know, perform for them. And I was like, of course. I had like a new mixtape out, and basically I kind of turned it into my little private viewing party because I have a full mixtape that's ready to go, but like nobody heard it but the people there. So I've been trying to get out and book my own
What's the name
show.
of the mixtape?
It's called Dolce & Garbage.
Dolce & Garbage. All right, and it's out already, and where can they find that?
Well, the whole album isn't out yet. The first single, Hate, is available on my SoundCloud. So this is just a
Which is SoundCloud?
SoundCloud, Kezra Leon, backspace Kezra Leon. This is just a mixtape. This was just kind of reintroduce myself out to everybody. The full album, I'll probably have a full album that will be available on Tidal, iTunes, and the other streaming sites in maybe the summer of next year. I'm already working on the music. So, yeah, this is just to reintroduce myself to the people.
Okay. Where was the first place you ever performed?
Like in life or in the gay space?
You could do both. It's up to you.
In life, I think I started performing out of the womb, probably St. Petersburg General Hospital. And then the gay space, I performed at Liquid. I did Power Infinity's
Queen of the Night. Hip Hop's 2016?
15.
15.
Yeah, it was. I don't know any of the queens. I didn't have a whole bunch of people. I literally came in randomly.
And did it, yeah. I remember because I was in the hospital, and that was the first Queen of the Night that I missed.
Yeah.
And it was so devastating because like hip hop and rock and roll are my things, and I wasn't there for that. I was in the hospital. I had been bit by the Black Widow spider that time, and that's where I was. But I know a lot of people did go and seen. So
yeah,
that's the first place I remember seeing you. I know you had performed at Flamingo too.
Yeah, probably the weekend right after I won Queen of the Night, it was
Flamingo.
yeah, Angelique Young invited me to come out and perform, and then I won that one too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about your first time ever in paint, like in drag and geesh, and what you do. Because again, you're not a drag performer. You're an entertainer. You're like a boy queen, a male entertainer, a rapper. You're everything. So tell us about your first time ever fully done up and going out somewhere.
I would say, because I learned painting from YouTube, and so like the first time I painted myself, it was awful. But it was
everybody's girl.
Yeah, it was awful. However, like it was still very. I would say, in my opinion, it was very good for a person who never done makeup before, and so like that experience of like getting myself together. Well, thank you. Yeah, so that first time experience was like ecstatic coming onto the stage. I literally did not plan on winning. It was not. That wasn't my goal. My goal was just to perform because I love performing that much and I take it very seriously. And so that first moment was like. I cried. It was breathtaking. I wish I can go back and relive that experience over and over because that's the reason why I do this. It was that moment.
My first time in drag, I looked like a Buccaneers in lip gloss, which I was huge, no pads.
A wide receiver? Or?
Girl, the whole. I can play the whole team, girl. Catching, receiving. But it was awful. I'm not going to lie. It was bad, but my mom did my makeup, and I love my mom to death, but at that point, the only reference to makeup she had was like Office and 80s hood rap makeup. So I was a hot mess, and I performed at Valentine's for their talent night. I was conned into it from some friends. So I think everybody's first time is a little shaky, but some of us are getting out there now. I see a couple of them, and it's like, wow. Okay, so
wow.
All right. So name 3 established queens in the area that you look up to, that inspire you, that help you.
I would say Power. Power is definitely, literally the first person I think I seen when I came out to the clubs. Because
are you a woman? You don't look like a woman.
My text messages are going out.
But yeah, it was Power Infinity was the first person I saw at Liquid, and I remember her first performance I saw. She came out of the ceiling. She came. It was a big back wall, and it was this long intro, and she came out of the ceiling in like this very like reptilian skin jumpsuit. Blew my mind. So like I love her.
Trying to keep us in the screen. I don't know. We keep scooching.
I love Power because she doesn't have to do death drops and the typical drag moves to wow an audience. She can sell a performance because she's thoughtful, and I really love that. Ironically, McCavity just started watching. I love McCavity. I thought he was an amazing entertainer. Same thing with Power. It was just I really love the people who weren't typical, who came out of nowhere.
Outside of the box.
Yeah, outside of the box, who came out of nowhere and just really like fucked the crowd up, just doing things that weren't the go-to move. And I would say Desiree DeMornay, because I think she's a very, very polished individual. I think she is the definition of the standard here in Florida, in my opinion, when it comes to drag queens. And there was never a show I went to where Desiree was the entertainer that the show was in their seat or idol. They lost their mind the minute she stepped out on stage, and that's what I always aspired to be in any form of entertainment.
Shout out to my mother, Desiree DeMornay, Miss Black Universe.
We love her over here.
Yeah, she's the ruler right now. Like 7 or 8 national titles, but like so many. She's on the wall behind us back here. Like I love my mother. She is no joke. Shout out to Power Infinity and McCavity. Just worldwide famous DJ and entertainers. When I first started going out to the club and doing stuff, I remember going to a club called Underground and watching Power McCavity, and Kitty Meow. And when I tell you, bitch, that those three plus Naomi Malone, who I think is in Texas now, like ridiculous, like for me, like to look up to and stuff like that. So shout out to them guys. I know they're watching right now. All right, give us two new queens that just jumped on the scene that you like are rooting for, that inspire you. That like two new queens that have just came out maybe in the last year or so that are doing things that you appreciate.
I don't know if they're considered the new queens, but like they're in the span of like the drag community, the people who've been here for like 10 years versus people who just started. So I'm gonna consider them newer in that aspect. So within the last 3-5 years, I would say, I know that's probably everybody's it girl right now. Her name is Zil Milan. I think she's aesthetic as fuck. I love her take on drag. I love that it mixes old school things versus new school things, and it's all concocted in this little package, and she knows how to sell it. I think she's very consistent. I love her. This other one isn't new either, and like she's probably within the past 5 years, but Adriana Sparkle, I think that he has dominated St. Pete, like out of nowhere, like went over there, found his space, and took over. And I think those things are inspiring when you are more than just a queen that comes in for 5 minutes and do a flip and you leave. I think is a queen who was able to market herself, brand herself, go out there and do the work, and then expect people to give her bookings out of nowhere. I respect that, and I love that.
Yeah. So Azil I knew as Zil Milan I knew as Azil, and now she has been performing for a while. But you're right. I can say at least like 6 or 7 years. She started. And did the talent contest that I had. In case people didn't know, I'm Joey Bone, aka Amanda Bone DeMornay, and I used to have a talent night at Valentine's, and she went by Azil, and she started a few years back, but she kind of like went off and did her own thing. So I would consider her new because she's kind of like stepping back into it now and taking it more seriously, doing a lot more things. I know she won Orlando Drag Race.
Yes, she won
the last one. Yeah.
Race.
So I mean, I get that. And then as for Adriana, another one of our sister houses, the House of Sparkle. She's my sister. I love her. She's bone related. Again, out of nowhere. Like shout out to our shared child, Danny Divine Sparkles.
Love her.
We miss her, but like just out of nowhere, like she did Amanda's Talent Race. It was season 3 actually, but it was at Liquid. It was the first time that we had brought it to Ybor, and phenomenal. Won the first challenge. Like has pushed boundaries of drag with being bearded drag queen. Her like for me, I know people joke and it's all this and like whatever, but that's the epitome of bearded drag for me. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna do something, you have to do it to a standard that people aren't paying attention to the fact that you have a beard. Like creative, design-wise, the numbers that she puts together, the hair that she does, phenomenal. So yes, that was 2 good picks for me. I'm down for it right there. Okay,
She was also a queen of the night.
Yeah, she also won Queen of the Night.
Yes, both of them actually.
That's how I met her. She wasn't doing drag, and I met her. She was a bartender at Mad Hatter's, and I went up to her one day and I was like, "You remind me of Jonathan. What is it? Matthew Anderson." I said, "You reminded me of Matthew Anderson," and I literally begged him to go and do Queen of the Night. And I remember we worked together the 3 times that he did a performance, and then he won on the 3rd time.
The Club Kids.
Yeah, Club Kids.
With that glow in the dark number, I will never forget.
He's a phenomenal.
Okay, so explain to us in not too many words your aesthetic, like who you are, your aesthetic when it comes to performing and things like that.
High quality trash.
Yeah. Sponsored by Kyle.
But that was the inspiration behind the album Dolce & Garbage, High Quality Trash. I feel like on a deeper, less funnier level, it's like the idea of no matter what you have, whether it's high quality or whether, you make it presentable and you do what you can with it.
One man's trash is another man's treasure, bitch. And that's it. Okay. Go ahead, keep going.
My goal for like all eternity was to always look like a villain in the Power Rangers movie. Or like a villain in some type of form, and that's my aesthetic, like dark villains.
Dark Japanese cartoon villain.
Yeah, I love that.
I get that. All right, so how is your performing persona different from your everyday persona? Is there a difference? Are you high quality trash all the time? Is it just makeup? Like, what is the difference?
I used to think there wasn't a difference. I used to think that I was just, Kezra Leon was Kezra personified and just fully brought out to the rest of the world, which I still believe it is. But in the past few months, I've been realizing there is slightly differences, and I'm not sure if that's because of me personally or the world around me. But Kezra Leon is just very in your face, very, as soon as I walk in the room, people see who I am. They want to know who I am, and he's approachable. Whereas Kezra, even though he doesn't try to be, may not always be the most approachable because he has a resting bitch face, which he's working on that. So, in terms of difference, Kezra Leon is approachable.
Approach him. Even if he looks angry, just go talk to him. That's what he's saying.
He's nice.
He just looks angry all the time. It's okay. Okay, so what is your favorite thing about drag or performance art or entertainment?
The ability to allow the crowd to escape. Things happen all the time in life, tragedies, people have bad days, people X, Y, and Z. But when you go and see a good performer, they're able to take you out of that negative space, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and you are encapsulated in that moment. You love that moment, you breathe that moment defines your existence for 5 minutes, but it's euphoric. And so that was always my weird, out of the box, mentality when it came to performing. No matter what I was feeling, even if I'm getting on the stage, I want to make sure that I take the crowd to another place. I want to make sure they see me, and for the past 5 minutes, they don't, remember getting laid off or getting in a fight with their friend or X, Y, and Z, whatever dramatic things happen to people. I'm not a person, so I don't know. But
all for the escape.
Yeah, all for the escape.
Okay, and what is your least favorite part of the drag community performing?
In terms
stuff like that.
In terms of the drag community or performing period or art period, I hate that people are so, I don't want to say conniving, or I feel like a lot of people are just for themselves a lot of the time, especially in the art community, in any form, music, drag, fashion, anything. It feels like everybody wants to just be the best, and which is fine, but they want to do it at the sake of pushing other people down. We're all artists and we all do very different things. My art is different from his art is different from Power's art, and we shouldn't tear each other down. We should always try to find ways to build people up. And no matter whatever problems that I may have had with somebody or whatever the case may be, I would never try to stop them from doing their art, because that's not my job. That's their gift to the world, and I don't ever want to be that. And I just wish people would try to work together more. Even if you do have differences, put them aside and try to do this for the sake of art, because art is important, and not everybody can do it.
That's one thing for me. I have a very strong opinion on how I do things. Nobody's going to be able to change that opinion on me, but no matter how I feel about you, I have, not you in particular, about anybody, I have always, when it comes to judging Queen of the Night or hosting my own talent contest, have always kept whatever personally is going on with me and a person to the side and done my job as this is what we need to do. Now, everybody's not always going to agree with me, and you're right. You shouldn't. If you enjoy what you're doing and you're good at what you do, you shouldn't have to worry about the next person or what other people are doing, and you shouldn't have to try to step on them. And for me, I was in the drag community for a long time. A lot of people don't know. I started dragging 2000 and progressed and started doing drag and I was in 2000. I know you probably weren't old enough.
I was 5.
A lot of people don't know how old I am, but I'm 36. So you were 5.
Yeah, I was 5 at 2000.
Well, bitch, I was 18. I started performing. I started doing talent contests, and about the time that I was 22 or 23, I was actually working and hosting and doing stuff and just getting my name out there. And I actually had 24 and 25. I had from 25 to 30 something. I had my own night at Valentine's where I helped the girls. And the thing about drag for me and why I stopped was it wasn't fun anymore. We weren't helping each other. It was people stepping on each other and trying to go behind each other's backs and take gigs and do stuff like that. And you shouldn't have to do that. So for me, it was I'm kind of over it until Power asked me to do Queen of the Night. And in our talent contest, it wasn't oh my God, you're awful. If you were bad, there was people there that helped you. I would make pads. I would help anybody. We would sit down with makeup. Frida and everybody, Sasha, Anybody. You can ask Jade, Lady Janet, Mercedes Sherrington. There was so many that got their start with us, doing stuff with us at Valentine's, and that was part of it too. Like, if you should just be good at what you do and not have to worry about the next thing, and that's it. But so I totally agree with that.
We have a question from one of our viewers.
Who is the question from?
Daniel Meow Meow Ramirez would like to know which of your songs are your least and most favorite.
Okay, so what is your most favorite song that you have in your repertoire, and what is your least favorite song?
Okay, so I have 2 favorite songs. One of them is not out. It's called Touching Toes, or this one is called The Trap Song, and I haven't put that out yet at all. But it's, when you hear it, you're gonna lose your shit. So I can't tell you much about it. But my favorite song that's out would be Hate, and it's because it's indicative of my, I feel like of my skill today, and I feel like it's indicative of where I was. That song did a lot for me. It really helped me get back into music. It helped me process a lot of things in life. It's just, that song, I love Hate. Well, you know. And my least favorite song, ironically enough, is everybody else's favorite song, MYOB.
Mind your own business, bitch.
Ironically, I hate that song only because I feel like I could do it better now, but I won't touch it because people actually know the song, and that's my most played song that I have. So I won't touch it, and I'll perform it, but that's my least favorite song, ironically enough.
Is there another question? Because I see it on my screen. From Kyle. It says, Tampa drag is known for being monotonous and bland. Our queens also don't do well on major platforms, but neighboring cities' drag is drastically different. Why do you think that is? Okay, so for me, I'm going to answer first, and I'll let you talk about it because I've been doing this a while. I would not say monotonous. I would say that Tampa does have a standard for pageant queens, beauty queens, things like that, and it didn't always used to be like that. I don't know how old Kyle is, but back when I first started drag, I wasn't Amanda Bone. I was Catalyst Katesh. I was a club kid. I did crazy, weird stuff, and it was great. And then we just veered more into that. In order to get booked around here, they wanted female impersonators. And the club kid lifestyle for most of the ones here were catty and distracting. So it was a lot for that. So in neighboring cities like St. Pete, they have a smaller group and they do something different that caters to the people there. So any place that you go, you're gonna get like different kinds of drag. And as far as doing good on major platforms, I don't know what that means exactly, but Alexis Mateo made it to top 3 from Drag Race, and she was from Tampa, St. Pete. Unfortunately, Elisa did get sent home first, but still made it onto Drag Race. Coco Montrese lived in Tampa, St. Pete for I don't know how long, and is one of the biggest Drag Race girls. But again, Roxy Andrews was in Tampa, Orlando, St. Pete for a long time. Like, I knew all of them back then. So I just think that in Tampa, it goes more to not the community, but the club owners and what they look for. And anytime that you perform, anywhere you go, you should always research like what your crowd is, what your crowd likes, and reach into your bag of tricks and know what's going to cater to those people. Because part of entertaining isn't just expressing yourself, it is also entertaining people.
Right.
So you have to know what people like. For me doing drag, I didn't start off as Amanda Bone, as you all know her now, in pads and all of that. I started off Marilyn Manson, 9 Inch Nails, Crazy, Club Kid, Octopussy, Franklin Fuentes, like all of that Club Kid stuff, and then kind of gradually learned more from people. And me and my sister Robin were kind of like secretly inducted into like wearing pads and doing stuff like that, which is an aesthetic that I like because I like to give off that female illusion, but I also like doing other stuff. If you had ever been to Valentine's and seen a show, I would always start off doing Beyonce padded beauty number, but my second number was always something artistic, creative, out of the box that you wouldn't expect from a regular drag queen. So we do have a lot to work on here in Tampa drag, but I feel like we're veering more back to that, where even if people aren't getting along, we're all still able to work together and appreciate each other's craft and what we do. So you can give your...
Well, as a person in the drag community who is kind of looking on the outside in terms of full drag, I think the reason why Tampa is kind of, in your words, monotonous and bland is because I feel like a lot of the girls don't have inspiration. I feel like a lot of the girls...
Not that we used to.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the girls know that, oh, Tampa or Florida is supposed to be pretty girl pageant, so they all try to aspire to be that, but even in that regard, they don't have a makeup inspiration. They don't have a drag inspiration. They just kind of see it and they want to do it. And then I feel like, nothing under the sun is new, and we take from other people and then we expand it and then we transform it and then we, make it into our own thing. And because a lot of people don't have that basic, they just are running around aimlessly and they just kind of they just regurgitate things. And that's why I feel like it's monotonous. In terms of performing, I think a lot of the girls here are better performers than neighboring cities, and that's just my personal opinion. But I feel like Orlando, for example, they are heavily influenced and inspired by Disney and Drag Race girls, because you can see it in their makeup. They all kind of follow that YouTube Drag Race formula in terms of their makeup.
Except for the blacks. The House of Black. I have to give a shout out to them for being creative.
But yeah, so I feel like they have that, and that's why they kind of do better in terms of, if you're talking about like social media platforms, probably that, because they paint for social media. They don't paint just for the stage. So that's why they grow over there. But I think that if people start just organically finding better inspiration, we can push to be better.
I totally agree.
Another question?
I see the question, but before we get to that, I have something I want to ask him another one of mine real quick. At what point in the makeup costume transformation do you be like, okay, he's here? Like, what point? Because I know for somebody, like, I'm talking about like lashes, makeup, pads, jewelry. Like for you, what is that? Oh, okay, I'm here.
Two things. When I do my heavy top liner, because I feel like that really like transformed my face for me. I don't know how y'all see it, but I feel like I look completely different. And then when I put on my platforms.
Okay. So the first question, because I see we have two. Power asked one too. So go ahead and ask Danny's real quick, and then we'll do Powers, because I know he popped up first.
All right. Again, Daniel Ramirez has a question. Are there any local artists you're dying to collaborate with?
Yes, in terms of music, I would love to collaborate with Regina Rhythm. She's an amazing songstress. If you do not know who that is, please look her up on all of your media platforms. She has a song called Wasted. Phenomenal singer. Phenomenal.
Right, drag-wise.
Drag-wise. I would love to collaborate in a way of like making a song for a drag artist, and in that regard, I would love to do something for Jade Embers, because I don't know why, but I feel like, because I know she's a singer, and I would love to kind of collab with her on a song that she can perform in her space. Because I think that'd be
love
so
Jade. Okay, so non-music wise, who is somebody you would like to do a show with, collab with? Let's get that out of the way.
Like
a number. Because I know for me, I've been talking about doing a number with you for a while, but not just you. I've got to. I'll let you think while I say, because I've got to collab with Power, most of my kids, and do like sickening numbers. So Power was one of the ones that I would like to collab with, and I got to. And upcoming, I get to do a number with Danny Panic and Power for the Battle of the Family, so that's going to be fun too. And I also got to collab with, I think it was Dee Dee and Kyla and Power for one of the Queen of the Nights, which was really cool. But I like doing numbers that are boy-girl numbers too, or boy-boy numbers, since I do stuff. So I know, like, collabing with you, remember we were talking about the MIA song that I wanted to do? So you, Power, and like, I've performed with Jade and
you do Lovely.
Stuff like, I know I want to. I want to do Lovely by Khalid and Billie Eilish.
Okay.
So that's one of the ones that I want to do. But other than that, like around, I would love to perform with my mother, Apple Love. I think, contrary to popular belief and all of the distress, I think it would be cute to do a number with Gia, because we're both, Gia Banks, because it's like that hip hop thing. So
I honestly would like I keep saying her name. I would love to do a performance with Zil, because to me, stage movement and you can tell when a queen is like put thought into their performance, and it's not just dancing around, and I think she encompasses that, and I would love to do something really dark and twisted and like outlandish with her.
I want to do something with Carl and
Adriana?
yes, because I have a beard now, and I've never performed in a beard because again, my mom is pageant drag, and if I've painted in a beard before and I put up pictures, but I've never been out in bearded drag. But I would love to do like a number with Carl and Aquarius and Adriana. Sorry, I keep saying the regular names. Hi Kiki. Kiki joined us. Now real quick, there was another question that Power had. Power Infinity asked a question. That question was...
Power Infinity would like to know. Because Tampa drag is, like Joey said, more pageant-based and traditional, do you find it a challenge to be accepted by many of our LGBT clubs? And what advice would you have for any new girls struggling to make it and push through as well?
Okay, so for me, it was hard coming out and being a club kid and doing the things that I had to do. Most clubs don't cater to that or push that anymore. So it is hard for you because I don't just do pageant drag. I've never actually done a pageant because it's not for me. I would never take away, most of these girls, that's their passion. It's like what they live for. It's what they live to do. I'm not saying I would ever win or I could win or whatever, but for me, I don't do it because I know people work and put a lot of money into those things and that's their dream. So I would never infringe on that. There hasn't been a pageant except for Comedy Queen and maybe Large and Lovely that I was like, interested in doing. And it is hard because like I said, starting out I did a lot of gothic crazy club kid numbers, and my advice to anybody is if you're gonna be an artist or an entertainer, be a well-rounded entertainer. Back when I started drag, you had to do country songs if you wanted to work at one of the country bars in Ybor. You had to be able to do hip-hop songs if you wanted to work at Valentine's or the Harbor Club. You had to be able to do dance, pop, billboard if you wanted to work at Chambers. And if you went over to St. Pete, you better have known older disco, fucking pop songs if you wanted to work. You have to buff yourself out and round yourself out to where you're a well-rounded queen, where you're able to fit in wherever you need to go. I'm not saying to disguise who you are, but being able, like a chameleon, being able to fit in and do stuff and do it your way is something that I think it is. And it is hard. The clubs don't cater to that right now. What they are looking for is that Hamburger Mary's, that pageant drag aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? In order to get paid. I know there's lots of platforms that will let you go and express yourself for free. And that's all good and well starting out or to help something out. But you also need to make money. I don't know what's going on. You need to make money and you need to be diverse and you have to get paid. So free gigs are fun every once in a while. I have rules when it comes to what I do. I give you 2 free shows so you know who I am and the crowd that I draw. And after that, if you're not willing to pay me, then I can't waste my time or do anything there. And I also need to be compensated the way it should be. Time, makeup, effort, the stuff that it goes through, because I make pads, I do makeup, I put together mixes, I really do think about performances and like the aesthetic of what it is and things like that. But sometimes you do have to bite that bullet and be like, okay, they want Beyonce tonight, I'm gonna do Beyonce, but still do it the way you like, paint a little how you want to do it.
How I feel about it, it's just something that's sort of simple. Because when I started, I did find it very hard for me to excel because I wasn't a drag queen. I was doing my thing, and I was also doing it with rap music. And even to this day, I kind of feel like people, like, not the whole crowd won't get it. Some people will be like in the back, like, oh, I like this, and the other half will be like, I'm so confused why he's not doing a death drop. And so my advice and what I did, create your own opportunities. Don't always look for people to give you yours. Like, when I kind of felt like I wasn't doing well in those spaces because of this, that, and the fourth, I collaborated with Kyle Kilgore and DJ Mouse, and we did Strange Love. And I was a pop-up. It was very temporary. We did it for like 3 months. A little pop-up, alternative party that we wanted to do to draw a different kind of crowd. And because it was my idea, we went out and did the legwork, and I got
and promoted it.
Yeah, I did.
Got your stuff together, and that is a great point. You can't just wait for a handout.
Right.
You have to go out and be seen. Even if you want to go tip around or do whatever, you have to be seen. But also, it pays to be nice to certain people because you never know when an opportunity like Strange Love or something will pop up and anybody will ask. Now, they asked to see the boss Frida. So we brought her on camera for a second because, you know, that's whatever.
Bitch,
So,
he didn't say boss, he said puss.
I can't see, like, that's why I said I
That's
need
why
you
I
to read
said you
these
don't gotta
things.
worry about it.
Like a perfect example, a perfect example of creating your own opportunity. Adriana Sparkles went over and did her own thing at Iberian and created that. And I think once you build, even if you're not, you know, well represented in these other spaces, if you go somewhere else and create your own opportunity and then build your reputation and your brand up, because people see what you can do on your own, then people will start fucking with you because they see what you can do without their help, and then they want to be a part of it. Nobody wants to be left off the train. They want to be
part of that train.
Right.
And that's the thing for me. I started out, I got a couple of bookings here and there. It was nothing special. I showed people who I was. Like, I got my own night. I made a name for myself. I was able to bring Amanda's talent race to Liquid. I did it many years at Valentine's. I'm able to help out at Southern, or not Southern, well, Southern soon. I was able to do Liquid and Queen of the Night and help out there too. So you do have to stay true to yourself, but also remember to be diverse and learn and just take into everything. You know, sometimes listen to hear, not to rebuke. Like, you don't always have to say something back. So that is a great question. I appreciate that. Okay, so getting back to someone, do you have a favorite song in your repertoire? We already went through that, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, now what favorite artist or a song you like to perform that you, like drag-wise, that you lip sync? Like an artist? Because I already know Nicki Minaj, bitch, but we haven't really ever touched base on that. But that's something in the future. Like, who do you like to perform other than yourself?
Probably only because I'm not doing full-on drag. I won't touch Nicki unless I do like something over her songs. But like in terms of just like lip syncing, I love trying to find different. I don't have one person. I'd like to find different things that aren't typical or like that are sound like really like interesting sounding. Like I think the first song I did was Black and Gold by Sam Sparrow, and it was like this really dark, sultry number by a guy vocalist.
The one that I liked was Doll. What was that? Rubber Doll.
Oh, yeah. Rubber Doll. Yeah,
that was a fun one too.
Yeah, so like I just do like the different interesting things.
Do you remember the first drag queen you ever seen? Like the first time you ever seen a queen perform? Who that queen was? Bless you.
Bless you.
I actually think I want to say the first place I went to was Honey Pot, and I want to say it was Amy DeMilo.
Okay. For me, the first queen that I ever saw perform, I remember going, the first bar that I ever went to was Pleasure Dome, which was the Czar, which is closed down now and being turned into something else, I know, or tore down. And I remember going there and seeing the first queen I ever seen perform was probably, I remember the set list. It was Joey Brooks, it was Najoni, Esme Russell, Felicity Lane, Amy DeMilo, and I can't remember her name right now. Divinity Everlasting. And it was like an impersonations night. And Joey was like Xena and something else. But I remember Felicity came out in...
Are you a woman? You don't look like a woman.
Came out in the full Madonna music replicated costume, like the white fur cowboy hat. And Esme came out and did Shakira in those taupe leather pants with the fur. And Divinity did like Janet Jackson, and Amy DeMarlo did that song, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. We came to let you know. 24K. Yep. And and Najoni did a Franklin Fuentes mix that had Octopussy, Excuse Me, Who's Bumping Up in Here, and she like stage dived and like just whole 9 yards. Like it was ridiculous. So like that I remember seeing and being like, wow. And then going to Valentine's and seeing Kim Ross. And she was so like, Kim Ross looked like Diana Ross, and she was so glamorous, and her and Apple were like so like out there for me, and I was like, wow, there is so much like to this.
I actually lied. Amy DeMarlo was the first person I saw at a club, but I forgot my friend from my 18th birthday took me to Hamburger Mary's Ybor, and Desiree was the first queen. I know, like that's like a super like, I don't know if there was serendipity or something, the phrase for that, but she came out and did her Nasty Girl mix.
Yeah, Vanity 6.
And I remember like losing my whole shit in the audience.
Which, you don't know, when she first moved to Florida, scooch this way a little bit more. I don't know why we keep like getting out of the frame. When she first moved to Florida and they let her perform at Valentine's, bitch, I think I let 100 people in that club for free. I was supposed to be working the door, bitch, and I was paying not nan lick of attention to that motherfucking front door. I let everybody in for free. I didn't check IDs. I didn't do nothing, bitch. I was like watching that bitch, like literally. And something that they don't know, hey, Justaria, something that they don't know about Desiree is Desiree does Bette Midler. Desiree's least favorite genre to do is hip hop. Me and Robin begged her to do Nicki Minaj, which is one of her biggest like numbers, but she loves Bette Midler. She also used to work Latin night at Valentine's. She does Spanish songs, so diverse and so funny to know. So let's see. What's your most embarrassing moment performing in like genre, like drag performance art? Like, what is your most embarrassing moment?
I don't really have embarrassing moments because I feel like I take a lot of time to plan and perfect, and I'm very good at covering up something on stage because I've trained in it for like a minute. But like I would say personally, like one of my least favorite was I went to go do a song and
somebody else did it.
No, I went to go.
I was gonna say
no, that wasn't embarrassing for me, but. I went to go do one of my songs for King of Queens, and they didn't bring me my microphone. That's the most embarrassing. It's so like boring. Like they didn't give me my microphone, and like when stuff doesn't go the way I wanted to go on stage, I know I get like I want to burn everything down. So like in my head, I'm just like, where is my microphone? But I'm like lip syncing, trying to smile, but I'm just like, I need this, and I keep doing this like on stage, like bring me the mic, and everybody's like, what is he doing? I'm just like.
Trying to get my microphone, bitch.
Like it's like I don't like when people don't do their jobs. You know.
My most embarrassing moment in drag. There's probably two of them. I would say it was like one of my first performances. My wig fell off, and it wasn't really embarrassing. I was just like, girl, whatever. I had long hair, so it was no big deal. But probably the time that Alexis Mateo talked me into doing Lean Like a Chola from Carmen'sCalls.com, and I actually beat up a gentleman on stage. He threw a drink in my face. It was very embarrassing because like. He was able to, like, I'm a fighter anyway, so, so whatever, but he brought it out of me, bitch, and I was dressed up like the only hood chola, like, painted on eyebrows, like, the hair glazed down into the little curls, bitch, like, in a Dickies outfit with titties, and he hit me in the face with a drink, and he was accosting one of the lesbian girls, and for me, it seemed like a long time, but I jumped on his ass, bitch, and when I tell you I fought him like the 200-pound grown man I was, bitch. And then it was all done, and went back to the mirror, and I fixed my hair and made sure like nothing was running. And Alexis had Sharpied on my eyebrows and sprayed me with hairspray, so bitch, nothing came off. It was just a little bit of makeup, like foundation was missing. And yeah, it was quite embarrassing. I had never felt like, damn, I fucked up in drag before. But then after like assessing the situation and things like that, I can't never let anybody put me out of my way, but I can't let anybody get away with that. As an entertainer, as somebody that hosts in a crowded club, if one person does it and gets away with it, then many other people will try it.
Right, of course.
So I got a little bit of like talking to by some people, but I also got praise. Like, you did something that, you know, whatever. Did Power ask something?
No.
She just said I was lucky.
Okay, so what is your proudest moment?
Coming out of nowhere and winning Queen of the Night hip hop. Like literally, I almost lost to Dan the Man, which I thought I was going to because he like literally did like levitating splits. And shout out to him. Don't know where he's been at, but love him. But yeah, so I did Queen of the Night, and then it just the backstory was like I had got into this really serious car accident, and I was like out of commission for like over a year, and I was depressed. And then for me to come out of nowhere, have that opportunity to go perform, and then win, it was so euphoric. I remember almost falling to my knees in like tears, and like one of my friends caught me. It was so dramatic, and he like caught me and stopped me. He was like, "No, bitch, stand up. You got to look good." And I'm like, "You're right." And so I stood up and I like posed, but I was like, that was the best like moment of performing I've had so far.
Again, in front of a live audience with drinky helpers.
Oh my god!
Now, my proudest moment in drag, I think, was one of my 25th birthdays, because there were so many of them at Valentine's. I think I did, 20 numbers in one night. But I got to perform with my mother, like my biological mother. I got to perform with all of my kids. the group performance with me and Ida and Frida was phenomenal. Like, went down without a hitch. Choreography that we made up in like 2 days, like, which was sickening. We had so much money like thrown on us, but being able to do that and then having the club packed to capacity and not letting people in, having Hotspots magazine like call my birthday like one of the major events during the year that they would come back to, like that they did, like that 25th birthday was like ridiculous for me, like, because like Gary, Carl, Sasha, Frida, Pika, everybody performed numbers that I would normally do and did their own take on them and stuff. So that was probably my proudest moment in drag. Sorry, my legs. So I'm trying to stay in the frame. Like, that was probably my proudest moment in drag. Okay, so now, are you single or taken?
I am taken by my music.
Okay, but by a person.
Oh no, I'm
single.
I'm hateful.
What's your grinder handle? No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
No, okay. So is there a reason behind that? Like, is it just the music, or like, is it like, what's it like for you dating as a performer, entertainer, local queen?
At first, I used to find it very, because it's very awkward when you break in somebody's back and then the next day you see them in the club and you're in a full face of platforms and they're looking at you like, oh, he just stopped yesterday. I'm like, sure did, sister. But it's hard because people, the gay community, they love drag, they love the drag queens, they love all of these things, and they want to be Sickly, they want to be Beyonce, they want to do all these things, but then they want their partner to be the super masked man, which I can be that, but that's not me 24/7 every single day. I'm a multifaceted person, and I believe everybody should have the right to be. And so when I've adopted this new philosophy now, where it's like, I'm not gonna hide nothing from you. If you're gonna, because this is what I do, and if you don't like it, then fuck you.
For me, it was a little weird because like I never had a problem with it. Like, of course I have the weirdo guys that want to do it with the trend. I'm like, bitch, I'm a hairy fat ass man up under all this, and there's nothing cute about it. And like I said, I was married. Anybody that I ever dated, never had a real problem with it. Most liked it, but I never kept it. Like, there was never a point where I was like, hey, like where I had to hide what I was. I was a drag queen. It was what it was. I did drag. That wasn't me, because like outside of it, I would work on cars and go camping and do regular stuff. For me, it was a job. It was like many people got to put on that McDonald's outfit or dress up nice for whatever. For me, it wasn't like that. So I didn't really have a problem with it. I don't like the way that people fetishize it and be like, oh, I want to do it with this entertainer just to do it. Which leads me to my next question. Sex in drag. Sex in geesh or no? Like...
No, this is expensive.
And for me, it's just not it. I have never had sex in drag. It has never been like something that people are like excited about. Like, for me, it's not exciting. I have on 6 pairs of tights, bitch, 2 panty girdles, a corset. My dick is shoved all up in my ass, and my balls look like chewed up bubblegum. Like, there's nothing sexy about it. When I take this off, bitch, the fantasy is gone, and you can't have sex in tights and stuff like that. So for me, it's like it's a non-thing. Like, if you ask me to have sex in drag, then it's not going to work, because you're supposed to like me, not who I portray on the stage or whatever like that. And if that's what you're attracted to, then you need to find a woman. You need to find somebody that's going to fulfill that for you.
I don't get those type of illusions, so I don't worry. The part I worry about is just like, basically for me, it's like sex and makeup, and no, I'm not doing that, because I don't need, my contour sliding off on your back, or my labs being stuck to your pillowcase, or...
Girl, sweating off all this makeup because I'm fat and I sweat.
I take time to do my makeup.
Girl.
Like, I like to take my time. Today was
and I like to use my lashes more than once, you know what I'm saying?
We gotta put them back in the container, pack them up.
It's so funny because some of my questions were already asked by people, because one of them was like a queen that you want to work with. Okay, so who is somebody that you do not want to work with, that you would not work with? Because it's actually on my list.
There's nobody in particular. I just wouldn't want to work with... No, you know what? No. I give everybody a chance to work with everybody, because, I don't know anybody. A lot of people I don't get the chance to know behind, what they portray. However, what I will say, though, is if I work with you and you're unprofessional, or you show up late, or you don't do rehearsals, or you don't do these things, let me tell you who I won't work with again.
Yeah, who won't you work with again?
That's what I'm saying. I haven't had that chance.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh no, he don't have to. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel like I give everybody a chance, but like because I take performing so seriously, and people who have like rehearsed with me or seen me when I'm getting ready for a show see how extra I can be. And if you aren't on that train, you gotta go.
For me, I don't think that there's anybody that I don't ever want to work with, or that I've worked with that was a problem. Well, no, I lie. If we're gonna be honest, I would never work with Erica Love again, ever.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, lots of people don't. But I mean, like that's my only person, and it's nothing. There's no tea, no nothing. It was a professional thing. If I give you an opportunity, and then you think that you can do something else with that, and then leave and not tell anybody, and just like leave me hanging for a night, then that's what it is. So never again would I work with her. But that's just whatever. As far as I'm concerned, she's a showgirl.
And if I can give any wisdom to maybe people who are younger queens, just always try to be professional, because and even in any aspect, because you just never know who's watching. Or because, like, even for example, I don't want to get too in specifics, but I hired someone to do a job for me, and he didn't fulfill his side of the obligations. And I told him, I said, it's not to be mean, but if this was a different situation,
recent or
very recent, and if this was a situation where like I didn't know who you were, you would have been fired. But I tried to be, nice, and even still, you still let me down. And so, like, will I work with that person again? Probably not.
That's just me. You really do. If you're going to give advice to new queens, it's remember to be nice to everybody, because the person you're reading tonight might be the ass you need to kiss next week for a gig. And that's something that people need to learn. You could feel any type of way you want to. You can want to fight somebody, and fine. You have to remember that there are consequences for your actions, and you never know whose ass you're gonna have to kiss to get a gig, or who's gonna be that show director next week.
Keep that shade in your group chats, because
along with our leaked nudes.
Listen, because
okay. So, all right. So what is your opinions on bodying for queens? I know you're not a queen, but if you did drag, what would you wear body?
Oh yes, like that's one of the reasons I never really pursued drag, because the kind of queen I would want to be, I know it's going to take tremendous amount of work, and I don't have the patience for it. Like, I would want to be the most padded, the most tittied. I want to look like. But like, different aspect. But I want to look like, out of this world transformation. In fact, I probably would just get surgery, because I'm trying to look like that bitch. I'm trying to like Onika Mirage.
We all know how I feel about body. Wear it if you're trying to be a woman. If you're not trying to look like a woman, don't wear body. If you're a club kid, you don't want to wear body, bitch, don't wear body. I don't care. But if you're trying to sell female illusion, if you're trying to be a female impersonator, you should have body on. And if I'm in charge of something and I'm looking at something, I'm not gonna book you if you want. You could be the most prettiest painted bitch in the face ever, but if you ain't got on titties and pads for me, if you're not selling me that figure, it's not for me. And that's just me. Right. So getting back, seeing you're not a drag queen, so I would like to get your take on this. What is your idea of drag? Like drag queen, not bearded queen, not club kid. If you were to define drag queen, what is your idea of drag? Like,
cause I know the drag was supposed to be like basically like illusionist, and like being a female illusionist, and that's what we thought for many years. And like the more political.
No, I know that there's different drag. I'm talking about for me, female impersonation. What is your idea of drag and female impersonation?
Oh, basically, I
because there are so many facets of drag: club kids, club divas, androgynous, non-binary, bearded queens, comedy queens.
And,
I'm saying drag for you.
In terms of
what does drag for
drag
you?
And female illusionist, I feel like no matter what type of makeup you're doing, what type of out of the box character you're doing, make sure that you give the illusion of the woman. Transform, because I like for drag artists to transform. I like the drag artists who take off their makeup and I can walk past you in the club and I don't even know who you are.
Do you know for how many years people did not know that I was Amanda Bowen? Which I don't understand. Well, I do understand, because at first I wasn't hosting. I was just doing drag and then leaving, and they never heard my voice. So it was probably 3 or 4 years, nobody knew that Joey was Amanda Bone until Apple started calling me Joey Bone, and then it started to get questions like, Joey Bone, and then when I started hosting, then people were like, is that the guy that be working the door too? show boobs. You're so stupid. Yeah, so, okay, now, for me, drag, female impersonation drag, we already know what that means. But for me, the term drag covers a spectrum of things. If you're dressing up, if you're a different character, if you're something like that, as long as you, I don't care what you do in drag, if you're a club kid, a boy queen, but you have to do it. You have to give 100%.
Right.
No half-assing. So you can be a bearded queen or whatever. And to me, the end-all be-all of bearded queens is Matthew Anderson and fucking Adriana Sparkles. You can make a joke about it. You could be mad if you want, because I know people were mad because I had already said that they were the end-all be-all of drag. And there's nothing against Carl. I love Carl. I don't know if he pads yet or not. I don't know because I haven't been out in a while and working. But Adriana does it, bitch. And like my mom and Esme are not, my drag mom Desiree and Esme, they were never really for like that bearded queen thing because they were female queens. That's what they were. But when Adriana stepped on that stage, I'll never forget them saying like, bitch, I didn't even care that you had a drag. You're bumping the camera. Because you are painted, padded, like you have an idea behind all of this. It's well thought through. The hair is sickening. You know what I mean? Like, and that for me is the epitome of bearded drag. Club kid wise, McCavity, Power, Najoni. That's what does it for me. You know what I'm saying? Drag Kings, Six from Success, Teddy D, Tyreek. That's what does it for me. Those are male entertainers. Like, people get offended at that, like when you say stuff, but they bind, they have real costumes, they think about their numbers. You know what I'm saying? It's not just them in boy clothes singing a boy song with their titties out or whatever. Like, you have to put in that work. And I'm not discrediting anybody. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but because everybody's got to start somewhere. But once you've been in the game so long, you should know the tricks and techniques and what you can do to better yourself. If you don't have any, you never learn everything. Everybody, if somebody tells you they know everything about drag, don't ever believe them. Because drag is a never-ending, always evolving platform, which you always have room to learn. There's never a point where you can be just like, well, bitch, I'm the black belt of drag. I'm the grandmaster of drag. It will never happen. Learn. Listen to people. Learn. You could listen to people's advice without taking it and still understand what's being said. And that, for me, is that. So drag can be anything. Just because somebody asked about it. Gay marriage, for or against?
In terms of legalization, yes, everybody deserves the right to be unhappy as they want to be. For me,
divorce is expensive.
For me, I probably will never legally get married because
you don't want to share your shit with nobody.
Yeah, I will commit to you and I will give you my heart and I will do everything to show you that.
But marriage just isn't a thing. But you believe people should be able to.
Yeah, that everyone should have the right to do that.
Will you open for Big Frida again this year?
Actually, I'm working on that. She's coming back in February, and I need to reach out to people at Crowbar. I think she's coming to Crowbar, and I want to reach out because now that I have full music and I've been seeing a lot more, I could probably do my own set this time instead of
Maybe I'll be able to come this time. I'm just tired of working, bitch.
Maybe everyone will show up.
Here's some fun questions that I think is really hilarious. What is a rumor you would like to address and squash that you have heard about yourself?
I don't really hear rumors. I think the only thing I keep hearing about myself is that people think I'm really mean, and I'm not sure is it just because how I look, or maybe they've hurt me, in a moment where I can be harsh. I know that.
Everybody has their limit. It's not being mean if you're over it at a point and you do whatever. I ironed my hair today.
I know this.
Yeah, because it's getting so curly. Well, Frida flat ironed most of it for me.
A little side swoop, a little bang.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, please.
You're not as unapproachable as you think you are.
If you want to know more about me, just because as soon as you say hi to me, my face lights up, and typically my face is at rest, and I'm thinking about lunch. I'm not upset by anything, to be honest.
A rumor about me that I have heard, which are so many, that I would like to address is the bully rumor. You can call me whatever you want to call me. Don't call me late for dinner. I'm not a bully. I say it how it is. It's out there. If you don't like it, okay. I'm entitled to my opinion, and you can't change that. So, and half of the time, if I'm going in on you on Facebook or we're having an altercation, it's warranted. I don't just come out of the blue and be like, I don't like Kezra today. I'm gonna, bully him on Facebook.
Right.
You've got to come for me to address you, which I'm working on, because not all people who come for you are worth being addressed.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you have to let ugly, sad girl club bitches know that you're number one. So that's not bullying. Okay, so there you go. I'm not a bully. I'm just a bitch. Now, what is a rumor that you've heard about yourself that's true?
Oh, I guess that. But like, I'm not that kind of. I want to say.
Well, you're just gonna tell people you're a bottom or no?
I mean, I heard that people say that I'm extra, and that is true.
Well, when people tell me I'm extra, I ask them, did you ever think that maybe you're just not enough?
Very that.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not extra, maybe you're not enough, because I fill my cup. So, okay, so a rumor about me that I have heard about myself that is true is there's two. I'm a cochina. Sucia. Yeah. And that I'm a bully. But like I said, I'm not really a bully, I'm a bitch. So there's a difference.
Right.
I'm joking. Okay, so two queens dating, fucking the whole Kai Kai. How do you feel about Kai Kai?
Like in drag?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about altogether. Like, are you for the Kai Kai? Would you date another queen? Would you fucking up? Well, you probably already have.
Absolutely.
I heard you was breaking backs, but we're not gonna say no names because I know them.
To a couple queens already.
Hello. So, are you for the Kiki and the Kai Kai girl?
I think that drag is not going to stop me from caving in those guts. I feel like if I have those type of connection with you, I'm going to, I want to.
Sometimes a bitch needs their back aligned.
Are we?
It's whatever. Hey, Danny, we were talking about you earlier in the live. We miss you, girl. Date me, Kezra. She wants her back broke. The last man that she dated, girl, turned out to be a bottom.
She's there.
She was here visiting, and the gentleman wanted to hang out, and then he wanted to get fucked, and he wanted his salad toss, girl, and then he was asking, could Danny get me over there, girl, and could we have some fun? And he was supposed to be straight. We call him the Great White Hype. Because he's just like, yeah, you don't even understand. Poor Danny. Danny said, do you want me to call you? But she said, no, you better take my ass back to the house where you picked me up at.
I can't see without my wig.
Girl.
Danny, earlier today, I just got to put this out there, said white men only in 2019. So why the fuck she asking about Kezra right now?
Yeah, I'm just showing the daddy.
I guess we're not telling the truth in 2019. This is
starting it off right.
Okay.
White men.
So what is your favorite food? I know it's like hot Cheetos and fruit punch, but tell me. Spicy pickles. No, I'm just kidding. What is your favorite food? People want to know, what can they bring you to the club that would, like if you was doing a gig, what do you like to eat? Your favorite food?
Lasagna. I love lasagna. And a fresh, clean shaven bust.
I can't remember who got pictures of me, but I know there's pictures of me in Port Charlotte eating as Amanda Bone. Somebody had pictures, Matt has pictures of Amanda Bone eating lasagna out in front of Liquid in a marijuana jumpsuit, sis, in a red wig. I eat only at the end. Ooh, curry goat. Roti and curry goat. Ooh. What is he always talking about? Pad Thai?
Oh, I love Pad Thai.
Girl, bring him Pad Thai, girl.
Yes.
That's what he wants. He's a damn lie.
Pad Thai, lasagna.
No, that we love you and that you're part of my family and Danny's family, sister houses.
My curry chicken and my rice and beans.
What is your favorite alcoholic drink? If the children see you out and about, what can they bring you alcoholic beverage-wise? Girl, roofie me.
Bring me a fresh closed bottle. A fresh closed bottle of Angry Orchard.
Okay. What is your favorite non-alcoholic drink to drink?
Ginger ale and sweet tea.
No. And fruit punk.
Well, yeah.
Fruit punk. Just not this one. It got to be Minute Maid or something. What was
it was like
This is what was 2 for $2, girl, at 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
So moonshine. Okay. So, what is your favorite color?
Black.
That is the absence of color. So, what is your favorite color?
Red.
Like the blood of my enemies. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so What do you think Kezra's claim to fame is? What is your claim to fame?
Rapping platforms and not real hair.
Kekleon and platforms and rapping. Listen, I'm down for it. Okay, my favorite food is anything. I've recently come into eating some spicy stuff because I really wasn't for spicy. There's some spicy that I won't do, but I am feeling some of it now. Like, bitch, we had some Chipotle honey barbecue yesterday. Bitch, would never had that before. My favorite alcoholic drink would be. Somebody asked me questions. Minding his own business. My favorite alcoholic drink would probably be Midori sour, an amaretto sour, or a buttery nipple. I will take any of those. Keep Jaeger away from me.
Oh, yeah.
I am not doing Goldschlager in 2019. I barely drink. That's something somebody else needs to know about Amanda Bone. Is I don't really drink. Like, I'm not a drinker. So clubs used to get over, bitch. When I would host and I don't drink, so no free drinks to the host. Like, bitch, I'd be like, can we book you again? Because I don't drink like that. Like, I won't turn down a drink because bars have to make money. So if you ever wanted to buy me a drink, I would go to the bar and drink it. Sometimes I would make them put just water in it because, I don't trust some of the folks. Especially down Port Charlotte way. It was like the hills have eyes. So you can't just be drinking what anybody gives you. But, okay. And my favorite color, like literally, I love orange, but I also love turquoise and black. So I'm okay with that. My claim to fame is fighting in drag and being a cochina and being a bully. Okay, so about this is a thing that goes on in the drag community, and I had a long talk with Power at the Bone Family Christmas party. Is drugs as an entertainer and things like that. And what I mean is when you get into the entertainment business, there's like a preconceived notion that you would be on drugs, like you do coke or meth or whatever, and things like that. Now, for me, on everything holy to me, the only drug that I have ever done was pot, and I don't even do that anymore. Like, there was like a year or two. Well, legally it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did smoke. Other than that, I have never, ever. Hi, Lauren. I've never, ever done any other drugs but pot. Like, I'm too scared for all that.
Same.
I have better things to do with my money, and I've seen drugs destroy people. Also, I don't care if you smoke pot, you could be my friend. But if you're on anything harder than pot for me, like, I can't trust you in my house. I know what drugs do to people, and I would never, like, 100% commit to being friends or stuff with you. So that's just me.
Right. Me...
To each their own. By the way, I don't judge anybody. If you do them, you do them. And if you did them in the past, that's your business. But it's just not me. Like, I don't partake. So
I guess I feel like I personally don't do drugs. Smoking, I'll plead the fifth. But I don't put anything...
let me move out of film.
I don't put anything up my nose. I don't do any injections. I don't know how people can do that. I don't judge people who do that because everybody has their moment for getting
their vices, their problems.
Yeah, and if you're functioning, I can't really say nothing to you, but I just want you to want better for yourself.
Okay. What does professional mean to you?
Just caring, going the extra mile to show that whatever it is you got booked for or you're doing, it matters to you. Like, even today, we were talking about doing this, and I could have showed up with a regular outfit on. I could have showed up and
you asked me, did you want to paint? Which I need people to know that is not a prerequisite to this. We do have a place that you could get ready here if you ever needed to. This is a huge table. Y'all can't see. We have a huge table. We have a makeup stand. There's stuff here. That's fine if you want to.
Yeah, I just caring, going to
right. She said we will judge a bit though. Lauren said you can do drugs. We don't hate you, but we will judge a bit.
If you're booked somewhere, show up on time. And if you're running late, text the person, let them know you're running late, because nobody's a demon. They can understand situations that are happening. What's unprofessional is that you were late and not tell anybody that you're late.
My favorite thing ever was from Esme Russell, and it's prior preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Right.
So be prepared for everything. Always, professional to me is being on time. You cannot be late. That is not a thing. And being on time does not mean if the show starts at 12, you're there at 12. You should be there at least 2 hours beforehand to get your stuff out, get ready, make sure you're done, do things like that. You always should have backups. It should never be like, oh, this is my outfit tonight. I know what I'm wearing. Always have wigs and backup in a bag just in case. You never know what's going to happen or when you might. There has been times when I have performed somewhere and then went somewhere else to perform, and you don't want to perform that same number. Professional means being respectful, being on time, being prepared, not always doing the same number. You know what I'm saying? Like, have other stuff. Be ready. I don't know how to work this iPhone. Okay, here we go. Okay, the hardest thing about getting into guiche, getting into drag for you, like, what is it? Putting on lashes, doing hair, like, for you, what is the hardest thing about that?
Makeup, the whole thing. It's just because I'm very anal in particular, so, like, if I feel like it's not coming out the way I want it, I will start over, or, like, I'm running, like, if you see me getting ready in the house, I have a mirror outside in the living room, and then I have a mirror in the bathroom, and I have every single light on the house, and I'm running through the house checking out every single mirror and angle to make sure everything looks a certain way, and even then I'm always worried that it doesn't. So, like, just make it, because I don't have a steady hand, so, like, doing, like, these lines or, like, my top liner or putting on lashes is always, like, a really hard thing. It's really hard, so, like, I struggle. That's why I always, like, give myself at least 3 hours window to paint. So even if I take, like, if I paint like an hour and I mess up, I can take it off and start over, or I can just take really slow time and just get done. I always like to be prepared.
I hate lashes and I hate padding, but I know that it's necessary. Like, putting on pads is so tedious, and you be sweaty and tired after all that I have to do, and I hate putting on lashes. Like, I just hate putting on lashes. But I know it's like the hardest thing for me to do makeup-wise is drawing on eyebrows. Right. I will use my own eyebrows. I will just glue part of them down and stuff like that. I can never draw on a full eyebrow. It is the most annoying thing to me to have to do an eyebrow. But I have, like, enough eye space that I don't really have to, like, fiddle with it much. You know what I'm saying? Like, just fill it in or whatever. So.
I can't, like, I used to love trying to attempt doing, like, eyeshadow looks. Now, because not because I'm not a drag performer anymore, I kind of have gotten lucky in that regard because I don't have to do certain things to give, like, an illusion. And now everything's up to my decision. So I don't even have to do per se eye makeup if I don't want to. So that's what I'm glad on, because the eye makeup is awful.
Alright. Where can any gigs or performances coming up, where can people catch you? Anything that you want to shout out?
I am in the talks of getting some gigs right now. We're working on details and payments and things of that nature, because my goal for 2019 is not to do free shows, because I put a lot of time and effort in what I do.
Building your brand, making your name. And I told you that a long time ago.
Yeah, so if you get paid me in money, you pay me in some other type of way, but, you know, money is first. So we can discuss later, but I'm in.
But there's the thing, you're also a performer, you're not a drag queen. So if they can help you out with more gigs or a set, that's different. For me, drag, you get paid or you don't get paid. If you're doing free shows, then you're a free queen. They'll always think of you as a free queen.
And I'm not a free girl. So I'm in some talks of something. I can't really talk about it right now because I don't like to discuss things, and then they fall through whatever case. But I have a couple of things that I'm working on.
Okay. Yeah, the other one, it doesn't matter. I was going to say opinions on talent contest, but it is what it is. So real quick, we ran over a little bit of time. It was only supposed to be an hour, and we're 15 minutes in, but we had lots of questions. I'll give it a few more minutes if anybody else wants to ask some questions. We are going to try to save the video so it's up for you all to watch. For me, there are a couple of things that I want to promote. It's Wednesdays, right? In St. Pete?
For what?
For Adriana's.
Yeah,
Wednesdays at Iberian Rooster, Fresh Start Drag. If you're not on that side of the bridge, there is So You Think You Can Drag here in Tampa at Southern with Gary and Gia. Mary's has something going on for you guys. Mary's Brandon, St. Pete, and Clearwater
Support local gay businesses.
Has something going on for you guys every night. We have at Honey Pot on July 20th. We have Battle of the Families.
July or January?
January, sorry, fuck. Martin Luther King weekend Sunday, January 20th at the Honey Pot. Doors will open at 9, I believe. The show starts 10 or 11. It is Battle of the Families. Now, we did reach out to some other families because this is the second one that we've ever done. Unfortunately, some of them were not able to participate, so we are just back to us 3 sister houses. It comes from a place of love. It is a lovely thing to do. We all get along. It's no shade. It is a benefit for the Tampa Pride. They will be charging a door cover. Lauren said, hush, Frida. They will be charging you a door cover, but it will be Battle of the Families. Panics, Bones, and Infinities vying for that title. It is $1,000 cash to the winning house. The child or the performer with the most points overall will be Special Grand Marshal for Tampa Pride. Like I said, it is a Pride sponsored event. It's last time we did, I was going to say last year, but it was not last year. It was the year before. But the last time we did it, it was freaking phenomenal. We all had a great time. There is going to be special performance, so hopefully, if things come together. But with me, Power, and Amanda Bone will be out for one night and one night only, girl. She'll go back into hibernation. But me, Power, and Danny Panic will be doing a number together. Hopefully, that all works out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else going on. I know Sundays is something new at Southern.
Like brunch Sundays or something.
Yeah, and like I said, there's always something going on here in Tampa. Honey Pot's open on the weekends, Mary's, things like that. We do have some special things in the works coming up with maybe a Valentine's reunion night at Southern. So we're working on that. Keep an eye out for that. Don't forget St. Pete. I know it's Fresh Start Drag Showcase with Adriana Sparkles and Carl Aquarius Infinity. And you can go over there and get your life on that stage. I heard it's nice. I've been trying to get out there, but literally driving over that bridge and like whatever.
No, it's like all the way in St. Pete.
There is one thing that I want to say before we left, because I didn't answer that question, was the new girls that I have been hearing about and seeing. And one of them is Matcha Hikaru, because I didn't get to answer that question. I've heard lots of things about her. She is a bearded queen. I know she was doing other drag.
Yeah.
And there's another one, Constance Panic, I think. I've heard her name thrown out there a lot lately. Other than that, the top three for Tampa Drag Race, I don't know how to say her name. The Asian...
Kylie, Anya?
Anya and Kylie. Like, I know Kylie's not new, but those are just names, stuff that I was like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't get to get that out there either.
We have another question.
Okay.
Lauren Rivera would like to know, why don't we see each other more?
Because she pretends to be a Caucasian woman and has no time for us ethnic folks.
Kezra?
I just saw you last night, sister. So you know I love
But you know, Lauren,
Sis.
I think my days off this week are Friday and Sunday.
Ain't no time for the president.
So if you would like to be interviewed, because we are going to do this now. Tonight was, Power called it Genesis. It was the beginning, January 1st. And we did our first little getting to know you live, knowing our local girls and things like that. This platform is open to everybody. You just message me a day that we might both be free together or a time. And I have no problem getting together with you because I would like to ask you these tantalizing questions. And we need to do, well, we don't do Smoky Bones anymore, but we need to do something. We need to go to Koizi or something, all of us get together and do lunch. But again, I know that we had some stuff, so I know Mio and Apollo, Constance. I don't know if Matcha commented. Oh, she said that was awkward, it was only for you.
Well, damn.
I don't care.
Man, I have to ask you before we leave.
Well, yeah. But I just want to say that I do want to get with some of you guys. I will post in the Queen of the Night page where we went live from tonight. And hopefully we can turn this into a YouTube thing too. That's what we've been trying, but my camera people quit halfway through. So,
Correct. Not the question guy though.
no, the question but again, if you would like to be part of this, and we would like, there are a bunch, like I said, I know Kezra. I already been known Kezra, but he was free and we were able to do this today. But there are a bunch of you girls that I don't know, and that I think that it would really benefit us to get to know with these videos being up on Queen of the Night for people to know and share. So, and Kezra wants to say a couple of things.
Yeah, so
All right, I love you.
a couple of things. Again, my name is Kezra Leon, nightlife entertainer, rapper, all these things. Strange Love is coming back. We're working on a new location. For the new rebuild of Strange Love, I will be solely just the
I'll
host.
have to talk about that because I know location.
I will solely just be the host, and I will work on actually booking other queens to come perform. So make sure if you are interested in that, you can reach out to me about that. make sure you stream Hate on SoundCloud. It is out right now. The next single will be dropping sometime late January, early February. Make sure you keep an eye out for the album or the mixtape Dolce and Garbage. That'll be out probably around March. And yes, shout out to Illuminator Sounds for producing the album. Shout out to Kilgore Atelier.
Oh yeah, I want to shout
downtown.
out local gay businesses. Kyle Kilgore's Atelier Services, making clothes, whatever. You know, I'm hood. Making clothes for folks. If you don't know what that big word is he making costumes and high-end fashion clothes for y'all. Downtown Tampa, right? Alterations.
Yeah, he created my most recent straight jacket.
The thing from the concert. It was red and black, right?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so shout out to him. Shout out to Illuminator Sounds for the production thing. Shout out to Adriana for album artwork. And shout out to Joey Bone for giving us this opportunity and this platform to come and speak about myself.
Are you a woman? You don't look like a woman.
What I was telling you about. Did you see what it said?
Oh yeah.
So yes, remember, support local gay businesses. Hamburger Mary's, Success in St. Pete, the Iberian Rooster, Southern Flamingo, things like that.
You name it.
You should just support it, even if it's only to pay a $5 cover or grab a drink. This hopefully will be ongoing for this next year of us just getting to know some people. Hopefully I will be able to sit down with Esme and a lot of the other girls soon, but I'm really just looking forward to getting a bunch of you local gals together, some of the newer ones, so we get to know you all, Express Aesthetic, and we can get back into things. There are a bunch of promotion stuff coming up. The Battle of the Families, we're very excited. I'm always open to making pads and helping out and doing stuff, so if I am free, you can message me or inbox me on here. I am one of the moderators on this page, for Queen of the Night. So again, don't forget, let me fix something. Don't forget, support local businesses.
Yeah, and even support local queens. Even if you can't make performances, share their work, share their name, do something. Just help your local queens be the queens that you love and adore on TV.
Yes, be just as helpful outside of it, even if you're not at the club. You can always share a promotional flyer. You can always tell people, hey, I'm not going to be out tonight, but you should go stop by and see this. We can't have a business, we can't have a nightlife if we're not going to support it and help it be able to thrive and run. So all of those nights, I don't go out as much anymore because literally school, and I have 2 jobs, but I'm off from one this week. So trying to get everything done. I'm trying to graduate in May and get everything completely done. So we've just been working on that. But I will be coming out soon. I'm gonna try to start hitting up the Iberian Rooster because I haven't had a chance. And I do want to work with Adriana and Carl, so we're gonna have to sit down and talk. But I do want to do some more of these interviews with you guys and ask you these questions and things like that, and we'll go from there. So if you're interested, hit me up. There was a couple of them that have already hit me up. It just happened that Kezra was free, and he already knows where I live and things like that. And if we're not able to do something here, maybe we can meet up somewhere for you, and I'll just bring the clamp and the shit. And then once we get a following and things on YouTube, maybe get a better camera and set up some stuff. But we do have the space here at my house, so it's always open. I appreciate everybody watching. We're going to finish and save the video. You're more than welcome to share it. Thank you for tuning in. We did have a lot of people there for a little minute, but so we will see you next time. All right, guys?